We're getting to see you here in the new movie Shady Grove. Was this a project that found its way to you or something that you auditioned for?
This movie is a movie that I co-wrote. I am also the producer of this film and I star in it. So I guess in a way it did find its way to me because, by imagination.
How did you and Nathan Dalton come together for the project then?
With me and Nathan, we've been writing together for about the last 10 years. So we have a whole computer full of different horrors, different crime thrillers. We did one called La Sombra Negra that got us pretty much on the map in the writing world in Hollywood, but it was really big. It's really wide. So everyone's like, can you scale down? Can you scale down? So we started scaling down with more I'm brain farting. It's early on this side. So we started scaling down though on our elaborate scripts. And this one was something that we figured we could probably make ourselves, the single location, um, contained. So then we found the money and pushed for it. It's been a long journey. This entertainment thing is, I've been in this industry for over 20 years. And it's like finally, finally, finally.
I know you were so involved with creating this. How involved were you then when it came to casting the roles? Were you always in mind for Shayna?
No, no. Because this is a micro low budget. When we first wrote it, we started looking at other actresses, just going through, IMDb, seeing who was out there. And everyone we were going to have to pay like a lot of money. And it turned in, and also I've been acting for long enough. I know I have the chops to do it. And a lot of the women we were looking at, they and I were pretty much similar. I'm like, why don't I just do it? Which in the long run was a lot of work. I have two kids, and I think that this project far surpassed the work done with my two kids. It was hard, but it was worth it, and I plan to do it again.
I hope you do it again. This worked out quite well. It's
Yeah.
really edge of your seat watching. What kind of reaction have you received to people who are already getting to check it out? I know it just came out here.
Yes. Well, we just had our private screening this past Sunday. And to sit, like, usually I like sitting up front when I go to the movie for the first time. I'm one of the weirdos that sit in like the first like three rows. I don't know why. I've always loved that. But this time, since I've seen this movie 8 billion times, I I sat in the way back at the top just so I could see everybody's reaction. Oh my God. It was like I don't, it's hard to explain. I wasn't expecting the crowd reaction to be what it was. There's people yelling at the TV, especially the part where I said, we can't leave them like this. They say, yes, you can. So it's those things that felt like energetic. It was like, oh my gosh, they get it. And so what we're seeing, when it comes to the reviews and whatnot, that you get mixed. This is micro low budget, and I think some people are comparing it to some people that had a million. And I don't know if people understand what micro low budget was. It is under 500,000, and everyone wearing multiple hats. So like even Nate was the second AD, as well as helping. He was a co-producer and the co-writer.
He's grabbing coffee on set. That's
Yes, no, everything. We were all doing everything. And what's also Nate, when we got to the post production and we found out that we weren't going to get the tax credit that we were praying for to do some of this, the VFX, Nate went to learn how to do VFX. He did all of that. Like there was 800 spots. I think there was, no, that was, I think there was over like 200 spots where he had to roto things. He went in there, I can't give away the movie, but all of the big VFX, that was Nate.
Nate's out here adding credits to his name that he didn't even know he wanted.
Exactly. Exactly.
Was that then the most challenging aspect of creating the movie? It sounds like, the script came to you, you were easily able to cast it based on the budget. Was that then the most challenging aspect for you then wearing all of these hats at one time?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I had a great first AD, Marlo Thomas, and as things would pop up, maybe on set with some other actors, I'll be doing makeup and writing checks and calling and getting, we needed a sheriff's car. We couldn't find one last minute. We had been on set till like 3 a.m. and I ended up going on Turo and I found like this cop car. We got so freaking lucky. We're in the middle of nowhere, like 2 hours away from any society, and we couldn't find a cop car. I go on Turo, I search, and all of a sudden, like maybe like 5 cars down, there is this cop car, random. It's about an hour and a half away. So I wake up about 5 so I can go out there and drive. Slept barely any, drive to go get that car, left our minivan there, switched and got into this Charger, zoomed back so we could have it on set for the scenes that day. It was crazy, but I love Marlo because she would walk up to me before there's any problems or anything. She's like, Nikki, what hat are you wearing? And I would literally go, I'm your producer right now. What do you need?
It was metaphorically and literally at that point.
Yeah.
Were there certain scenes then that really hold a special place in your heart because you created them and you watched them finally come to the screen? Or were there some scenes that really challenged you the most, being having to do all of these hats? Obviously, finding the cop car for the scene in particular was a difficulty, but is there one particular scene that really stands at you as a challenge, maybe as far as logistics for you filming, or maybe one that even you're the most proud of watching it finally come to the screen?
I think one of the, like, it's probably just because I am a mom. One of my favorite scenes is just with the baby. The fact, and we found a local baby that happened to be mixed that we needed. And we're in upstate New York where the Black community is fairly slim. So I was just at the restaurant at the hotel we were at, and I just started asking the locals, like, do you guys know any babies around here? Like, and they said, actually, the waitress that used to work here just left on maternity leave. And so she sent me pictures of the baby, and the baby happened to be mixed. And I was like, oh. And I talked to her and got little baby Imani on there. And I think that, and like being able to hold her, she was such a great baby. And just, of course, on the producer side, the part that makes that difficult because you're only allowed to have a baby on set 20 minutes. So it was just a lot of juggling, making sure we were ready to shoot. Everything was set, bring the baby out. We can, get the baby because we had her in 2 different scenes. We can get the baby out and then get her back into the room cozy with her mom and dad. So that was my favorite. And I think it was challenging just working with the baby.
Well, everything is edge of your seat for the entire viewing. It's hard for you not to have an adrenaline rush the whole time. And you, as we've talked about many times, have had so many hats throughout the entire movie. How did you shake off a long day of filming? You probably didn't have much time to sleep, let alone shake off the day, though.
Yeah, I didn't. That was it. And me and Marlo, the first AD, were rooming together as well. So she was up. None of us slept. Long story short. So she's in the bed next to me, like saying, "So, what do you think?" I'm like, do this and this. It was really. I didn't sleep. None of us slept, and we had 6-day shoots too, because of the low budget. And we had to get everyone out. No one can go home really. So
Yeah.
we chose to do a 6-day shoot as opposed to 5 days because we also had to house everyone. So this is just less days, keeping people in town, let's just kill it, get through it, and then say goodbye, new family, and get on to post.
This is a great movie, actually perfectly timed here for Halloween. Was that coincidence, or did it just happen to find its way to you?
It was work. It was work. Because you have to find a distribution, you have to do this and that. Thank goodness Gravitas Ventures wanted to join with us pretty much fairly early. We weren't done with the post-production yet. They had just seen like a rough edit, and they said that they wanted to jump on, which is great. So we just had to have our documents signed. I had probably 4 days to sign the contract with them in order to make a Halloween release, because there's no way I was going to put it out during Christmas. or Halloween next year. I'm like, well, that's way too long. So we were just on I feel like everything has been like, go, 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 go with this. I haven't had a chance to really take it in and stop even to now, but it'll hit me eventually.
What do you think it is then about Shady Grove that's just going to make it such a fast fan favorite? Thriller, horror. I mean, there's so much nuance to it as well.
It's the town. And Nate and I have the next four sequels ready to go. So it's the town. And it's like these women, like I think you may have heard me speak before on them, is with Greek mythology. We're gonna go into a prequel of where the town got started. But so in this first, first movie, it's kind of just introducing you to it. There's so much more that we have in store.
That's incredible that you have so much of it worked out and fleshed out already. Have you any idea of when you'll start filming any of those just yet? Or is this just right now the plan is to do this, this, and this for the time being?
Yes, we don't know for sure. We have a couple. I told you we have a few other films that we have, so we'll probably move into another film. That we'll probably do that next year, and then Shady Grove 2 the following. My goal would be to be able to do two next year, but we'll see where we're at, and we'll see how much I can
Pace
handle.
yourself, Nikki.
I know.
Pace
Let's see how much
yourself.
I can handle.
You've got kids to raise too. My gosh.
Oh yeah, I already apologize to them.
You're like, these are my first kids. We get
Exactly. Well, mine are
no.
older now. So
Okay.
I really think that was part of why I've been able to put so much into it as opposed to all these other years that I've been in the industry and just kind of waiting for other people to give me work, waiting for other, as an actress side, waiting for other production companies to buy Nate and I's scripts. It was kind of like now I had more time to sit back and think maybe it's a blessing for COVID. We all had lots of time to think about what we were doing. And then, it's time for this is my time.
Sometimes things work out for us in mysterious ways, Nikki.
Yes, yes, you never know.
So then what is next for you? I know that you have, as we mentioned, this plan for these films, but have there been any other projects you've been working on in the meantime?
Nothing yet right now. This has been my entire life, like morning to night. Like even I do like all the InDesign work. So any posters you see other than our main poster, I've done. Yeah.
I can't fathom you sleeping. I don't know when you sleep. Uh, you I this is probably the most time you've had sitting in one place. I think we're quite some time. So,
Yes. Yes.
what would you like to say then to people who are fans and supporters of the work and they follow all the wonderful projects you are a part of?
Just continue to support. Like we're just here. I just want to entertain and tell our stories and just continue to support us.
Shady Grove is going to be one of a fast fan favorite Halloween movie that has to make you feel good that this is now a part of the lexicon for the holiday.
Oh, I that's the first time I heard that. And so that just actually just hit me. So thank you.
You're welcome.